markets back in the green, the JSE opening sharply firmer and playing catch up with global counterparts at this stage of the game. What's your reading of the current markets picture as it stands right now? Because there's certainly still some concern plaguing when it comes to recovery in Japan and the Libyan situation as well.
Yes, at the moment, so much volatility in the markets and uncertainty. I think that the market was definitely oversold on last week around the world, especially in South Africa. We saw some very big sell-offs. Stocks like Naspers coming out with numbers on 10 cents that weren't good. So the whole market took a really big beating last week. I think the problems in Japan look like they've settled down slightly on the nuclear side, and buyers are coming in to buy some bargains in a lot of the stocks. We've seen Japan people coming in to bargain hunt as well. There's still a lot of risk in these trades, however, Alishia, so we just have to wait and see. You can enter these trades, but you still have to be very cautious.
Reserve Bank Chief Economist Mondi Mnyande is saying today that the impact of Japan's nuclear crisis on South Africa's economy is likely to be limited, but if it worsens, it could well hurt. Just how much risk is the market pricing in on account of that at this stage of the game?
I think they're pricing quite a lot of risk. Obviously, it's the third biggest economy in the world, and a lot of our exports go to Japan. So we have to take a look at how much we importing and exporting to them. There's been a lot of problems, especially on IT type of solutions and hardware, that you just can't get any supply at the moment. So that increased prices in the short term quite aggressively. So you have to take a look, will that be passed on to the consumer? Or the individual companies have to fit that bill in the short term. But over the long term, if they do settle down, I think it is a good opportunity to enter into Japan and into our markets as well.
Your strategy at this stage, Rob, where are you finding value, where buying opportunity seems to be the catchphrase?
Well, in South Africa, you're looking at some of the big general miners that were sold off when the crisis first happened in Japan. We saw Anglo's trade an intraday low of below 330 Rand. After trading 390 earlier this year. There's been a lot of buying coming into Anglo's and Billiton. Anglo's back at about 350 Rand from that low. So the general miners, there's been a lot of funds flowing through into them. The banks were hit quite hard as well, and we start to see some of those banks, a little bit of buying coming into this. Standard Bank hit a 52-week low last week, and I think a little bit of buying is coming there as well in Standard Bank.
Let's take a look at Standard Bank then, because it's been reported that we could well see Standard Bank selling its Argentine operation to ICBC. The details aren't yet publicly known. What are you making of that possibly transpiring?
Well, it's quite early to tell whether that transaction will go through or not. Standard Bank have had a lot of problems with their emerging market strategy for quite a while now, and they're trying to tighten up a clean shop as well. They still definitely want to be in Africa, and I think where they can get out of some of their assets that they've overextended themselves in, they will. I think they need some of that cash if they want to go aggressively back into Africa. So I think it's positive for them. Whether they can get that transaction done or not at a profit is we'll have to wait and see.
What are you making of the strategy, though, focusing purely on African markets as opposed to the emerging market story at this stage? Because where, that was the selling card or the draw card to a large extent when it came to Standard Bank in the past, that this was going to become an emerging market bank.
It's difficult. I think maybe they just put too much, they went too fast too quickly, and I think they just tightened it up. I think they won't exit the emerging markets as a whole, but I think that they see that they really are specialists in Africa, and they want to put more money where they specialize and where they know they're very good at, and then over time re-enter that emerging market the arena. So I think they won't step out totally, but I think they really want to put money where they are experts, and currently, Stanbic a very big presence in Africa, and they want to expand that presence.
While it lessens its handle there, we've got Goldfields saying that its subsidiary Goldfields Corona had announced this voluntary purchase offer in Lima, Peru. Run us through what sense you're making of that transaction and the fact that it is now entrenching its position within that region.
Yes, I think the purchase adds 1 million ounces of gold to Goldfields production, which is a very big number. I think it's a relatively low cost mine. So we're very positive for them. It is a big transaction. It's 1.1 billion Rand. So quite a lot of, but it is mainly issued in shares. I think it's a good purchase for them. I think they know the mine very well. And it's a low-cost producer producing really good quality gold. So I think a very good purchase for them. It might be, really at the height of the market where they're taking this on. gold at $1,400. But generally it's going to increase their production by 1 million ounces, and that's very positive.
Talking about deals in the pipeline, we've got the Walmart Massmart deal possibly hitting another hurdle, with 3 governmental departments having applied for a postponement of the Competition Tribunal's hearings to the proposed purchase of majority stake in Massmart by Walmart. The deal comes at a price of 148 Rand, and at this stage, we're looking at the possibility of an opportunity cost surfacing here, where there's an opportunity cost of holding that position at this point. What are you making of all that's happening and the noise that we're hearing on that front?
Yes, it's a pity. I think the Competitions Board was supposed to start the hearings today. Looks like they're postponing for a couple of weeks. That is problematic. We have to see why they're postponing, if certain parties weren't ready for their hearings or not. There's been a lot of difficulty in getting foreigners coming to purchase our companies. I think it'll be very, very negative if this doesn't go through. I think we've seen MTN's battled. We've seen Walmart coming through now. So we'd really like this transaction to go through. I think for the consumer, it's very positive, and I think that the consumer really should fight for this deal to go through, because it's going to help consumers around South Africa with Walmart coming in.